Mosaic.
You've got
welcome everyone to our project site, Mosaic at Oak Creek. This is something that's been a deal in the works a little bit longer than we like, but we got to this point and we're extremely excited to be here and to be considered partners in the goals and objectives that the city's trying to achieve in their town center. This thing's gonna just drive me crazy, so I might have to shut it off. Yeah, I'm told it doesn't work.
It doesn't fit. But I just turned your volume down.
Thank you, Cricket. So, we're sitting here at the very initial part of, let's say, construction, groundbreaking. But there's been a lot of work that's gone into this project to get us to this point. And some people that I really want to take a moment to recognize, because this really is a project we're extremely excited about. It's a very catalytic project as we completely recognize for the city of Bonita Springs and what they're looking to do to achieve and what they're looking to achieve as part of their community redevelopment goals for their town center part, Old Bonita as we know it, and we're just extremely happy to be a part of that whole puzzle that we can really see crystallizing here over the next couple of months and through our construction and then beyond that. So like I said, we can't be happier to be a part of the community, and we really look forward to delivering a project that the city and the community is extremely proud of. So we'll work very hard to make sure that what we deliver to you, we're not only proud of, the market's proud of, but you folks are proud of. Of course, the mayor and staff as well. So I'm going to take a moment to recognize some of the folks that helped us get here from our side as well as the city side, because this is something that is a huge effort, a huge undertaking. I think we're sitting at about a $45 million full investment for the total project cost in this, and it doesn't happen just within the partnership realm. First, let me happily introduce and recognize my business partners within Mosaic, Roxanne Amoroso and Terry Whalen. Obviously, we can't, none of this stuff happens without them. So, and then our outside partner who lovingly bought this land, the front portion of this land, about 2005, 2006. And we're extremely happy that he did do that. However, it was at a bad time of the market to be buying that we had to overcome, but that's okay. We won't talk about that. Jay Dackman has held this property. He had a vision along with Jim Halverson Blazer Development Group on this back portion of the site, the eastern portion of the site. Jay has the front portion of the site, or had the front portion of the site until we closed. And he had a vision, and Jim had a vision that coalesced with what we thought we could deliver here, Mosaic thought we could deliver here. So we formed a partnership in order to deliver the project that you see. We'll be breaking ground here pretty shortly. So Jay, thank you very much for your patience and your ability to roll with the punches, because delivering a $44 million deal is not easy. It's not something that a lot of people can do. It's not something that a lot of people do. But we saw the vision here. We love the goals that the city had, and we just love the intangible aspects of this site. It's a gorgeous site, right on a creek, in a perfect market, in a flourishing downtown town center. Very quaint, very cute. So we really, really are pleased to be located right here in Bonita Springs. So on the project side, some integral partners that we could not achieve without their help. And I'm going to roll through some of them. Hopefully I'll remember all of them off the top of my head. But first and foremost, Rick McCormick with Indigo Architects, our architect, head architect, has been amazing. Designed a gorgeous project that I know everyone will be happy with. And you obviously know him. He's been around here for a long time, and we're extremely pleased to have Rick on our team, and looking to incorporate him into other deals that we do. It's been great. There he is. I was looking for you. Thanks, Rick. Daniel Flynn and Grady Miner, the guys over at there, local guys that know this market intimately, and they were an extreme benefit for us to have on our team. They know the lay of the land. They understand how things go here within the city of Bonita Springs. And Daniel, you've gone through iterations and changes, and again, rolled with the punches. So I really appreciate the effort that you've done, and believe me, it's not overlooked in the least bit. Another local guy that is part of our project team, Velocity Engineering, and those folks. Let's see, Jim Banks with Banks Engineering, Traffic Engineering, and Amanda Brock, who's with Lee County now, but our attorney that helped us navigate the entitlement process down here. Amanda did an amazing job, and she's no longer with her firm, Henderson Hill, but that group was a great partner for us, so we can't be happier with them. And then our inside attorney, who's not with us today, but Fletcher Fisher, Lee Fletcher, and Tina Fisher, just brilliant attorneys, so we can't be happier with them. Helped us navigate a lot of the internal minutia of partnerships and financing contracts and agreements, so they're a great partner to have on board. What you see here is kind of this empty field, but the one thing I really do want to impress on everyone, what we're going to have, is there an overall site plan? An overall site plan in the back of the room, but we have 10 apartment buildings, just 10 straight apartment buildings, a clubhouse, 273 units. On the front of the site here is a mixed-use building with about just south of 7,000 square feet of commercial space on the ground floor and 9 units above it. So it will be a true mixed-use community, commercial, retail, residential. On the front portion here, fronting on Dean, the other one in front on US 41. The other one fronting on Dean will be about 4,000-ish square feet of just straight commercial space. What we want to make sure everyone knows is, as we go through construction, it's about a 12-month process in order for us to get our first building and start leasing and bringing people into the community, housing them, getting them set up, putting beds in heads, heads in beds if you want to call it. And but the important part of that is we can't do that again on our own. And Encore Residential, the group that will be managing it, which is a sister company owned by Terry Whalen, will be managing the lease-up aspect and the day-to-day operations of this complex after it's built and completely occupied. Encore is a local company, been here for about 20 years. They manage anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 units. Great partnership, extremely valuable in the partnership amongst us. So Terry, the role that Encore fills is bigger than property management. It's a role that they fill from a partnership perspective. And the data that they bring and the knowledge that they bring to a project is just invaluable. So thank you. Finally, the city. You know, without this and without the goals and the vision that the city had to revitalize their downtown, the investment that they made in themselves to attract exactly this type of development made this project happen. You can draw plans and you can put a vision in place and you can drop a project on a site and say we're going to do this, but it has to be financed. It has to be financeable. So the investment that the city made in itself, streetscape infrastructure, made our sell to the financial community for this project a little bit easier to say, look, this community gets it. They understand what they have, they understand what they want, they have a goal in mind, and they're willing to put money up to attract the development that they're looking for. And that investment was critical to us being able to finance this project. People are looking at multifamily deals all over the country.
Thank you very much. And thinking back, and you say patience is a virtue, but I know how long these projects take to come together sometimes. And thank you for your confidence in Bonita Springs and bringing a much needed housing to downtown, bringing some density to downtown, and believing in Bonita Springs. I mean, I can't say 10 years ago, but I'll say 15 years ago safely. You had prostitution in the park across the street. You had drugs, you had syringes, and you had some not so nice things going on down here. People gave up on Old 41. They got on 75 and they got on Route 41, and they kind of bypassed this original part of town. So, not to paint a dim picture, look at where we've come in 10 or 15 years. And we have a long way to go, but the people and the partners that we're working with downtown here to bring downtown back, and when you look at any old city center, if you will, I mean, it's no different in downtown Fort Myers. It's no different in Cleveland and some, Newark, New Jersey, a lot of different areas that realize, yeah, you can knock everything down, you can get more square footage, and you can get more visibility, and you can plow down the old historical buildings that aren't accessible and need modifications, or you can embrace a downtown charm, you can embrace the town's history, you can embrace that right over there. And thank you for your patience with us on this building, by the way. It took a little while, and we finally have, but at one point, as you know, this was the last place, this building right over here, that you could get gas before you got to Miami. Across the street, you had Buddy Hackett and Elizabeth Taylor staying back in their day, and other people. And like any true city, you go through a revitalization process. But to say we've turned the corner, I think doesn't do it justice. But to say we've turned the corner, I can say that in full faith and confidence that downtown Bonita Springs has turned the corner, thanks to your efforts and others. There's other projects coming in. And, I think the general public, the people that get it, and the people that are impatient will be impatient with everything. They wonder why it hasn't happened sooner, why it hasn't happened quicker. And they don't have a nickel invested, or they don't have one thing to say other than a complaint. Well, I can tell you that's very, very few. And I'm hearing less and less and less of those complaints now. Now I'm hearing optimism, I'm hearing excitement, I'm hearing enthusiasm with what's going on in downtown Bonita Springs. And just for that, we didn't knock everything down, we didn't mow everything over, and we didn't build just nouveau riche and make this look like Miami. I've said it for a long time, not to insult anybody sitting here or anybody that might live in Miami, by the way. But if we wanted Bonita Springs to look like Miami, I think we would be smart enough to move over there. I think we would embrace Miami and we would take that. But if you want to embrace what we have here and what is coming here and blend those two visions together, which isn't always easy to do, and everybody's not always going to agree on what the building should look like, or what the trim should look like, or what type of bushes you should put in. But if you really embrace the concept that we're embracing downtown Old 41, certainly Lee County has. We've partnered with Lee County on the library and other projects here. We have obviously partnered with ourselves, as funny as that may sound, but we've mortgaged quite a bit of our future in confidence down here in our annual budgets. And when you look at, what you're looking at, you're only able to see about half of the money that's been invested down here. The other half of the money is underground. We have these wonderful things that we totally embrace called the Everglades to our east. This was the Everglades once upon a time, can still be called the Everglades if you want it to be, but we have water. And as you noticed from Hurricane Irma and the water and the floods prior to that, we've got water to deal with. So there's no need to do all this and put lipstick on everything if we can't handle the water. And we continue, as you continue to see in the news, to work with the water, but embrace the Imperial River, which is a gem, which is an absolute gem downtown here. I see Al Engel standing down back. Al Engel put his money downtown here when literally nobody else would. I see John Pano. I see Mr. Weeks. I see a lot of longtime people. I see Trish Leonard. And when Trish Leonard and I can hold each other and hug each other and like each other and respect each other through the disagreements that her and I have been through, let me tell you something, Trish. I'm giving you a big shout out of love and admiration as well with the Everglades Wonder Gardens. I see Alan Dimmitt back there. I see so many people that have believed in Bonita Springs when, Bonita Springs had a lot of derogatory sayings. We were always that town between Naples and Fort Myers. Guess what? I'm happy to be that town between Naples and Fort Myers and be Bonita Springs and embrace our history and do it our way. But our way is a community effort. It's not the 7 members of City Council sitting up there. You know, we have Councilwoman Amy Carumba here this morning with us, Councilman Greg DeWitt, Councilman Mike Gibson. I saw Councilman Fred Forbes. Oh, there he is, Fred. How you doing? But really, and Mike, I'm not sure, and it really doesn't matter, but I was on the City Council when we approved this project. I think, Mike, you had just come on the City Council, and those were some we got a lot of questions, right? Why are you investing this money in a quote-unquote dead part of town? Why are you doing this? Why aren't you widening roads on Bonita Beach Road? Why aren't you putting flyovers in so we can move more traffic? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And that's all right. I'll take those strap marks to the back if you would, because there's a vision. There's a vision of what you're seeing happen here. There's a vision that you share. Not everybody can afford a $1 million condo or $800,000 penthouse or whatever the case may be. We have firemen, we have firefighters, we have school teachers, we have police officers, we have young professionals. Isn't it great that we're going to invite, like I said to somebody earlier, at the ripe old age of 51, where I'm not old enough to be old and I'm not young enough to be young, and I was asking a couple of people how old they were on the project. We got some young blood on this project, right? I like that. You think they might tell their buddies, hey, stuff's happening down in Bonita Springs. You don't have to go to Miami to have fun, or you don't have to go down to Naples or Fort Myers. You can actually go to Bonita Springs and have a good time. Take a boat ride if you want. You can arrive by boat if that's your thing. Might be a smaller boat, but we got some more things going on in the river. But this day is not about any one person, but this really is a team approach. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And we did make a joke earlier. For those people that know me, that I always like to get in where you're from originally, and that's a good conversation starter. And when I say the only person or people cheaper with a buck than the people from New Hampshire are the people from Maine, once I knew there was a Maine girl on this project, but you said, like you said, I said, they know how to make nickels dance in Maine, and you had to make nickels dance on this project. The city of Bonita Springs had to make nickels dance on this project. And this project's coming together. I'm very, very proud. I mean, Councilman Mike Gibson works downtown here. He's here every day. He has a young family. He has seen firsthand what's going on down here with the Historical Society to embrace our history here and realize that, if you have historic buildings here like this, don't just knock them over. Let's figure out a way to keep them and embrace them. And as my good friend Jesse Purdon says, hashtag Bonita Strong, hashtag Bonita Springs. Let's move forward. Thank you so much.
I'm Roxanne Amoroso, and I'm a principal in Mosaic Development. I'm going to be really brief. I do think it's important to tell you that if it was not for Synovus Bank and Marble Capital, who hung in with us for about a year and a half while we nailed down some very pertinent things to make development happen here, we wouldn't have had this opportunity. And we wouldn't have had the opportunity if the city didn't embrace our coming into this area and wanting to redevelop 18 acres. That's a significant parcel, and we take that as a big responsibility. I also think that we glazed over, but shouldn't, that part of our development is a public kayak launch, and we think public access is a very important thing. We're excited about it, and we hope that all the constituents here in Bonita enjoy that as well. 273 apartments is going to bring a lot of residents to this area, and we're business owners, and we want to embrace commerce right here. And we'll be encouraging our residents to do business here, and we hope that the business community will reach to us, because we will be the first to market to. We're looking for those partnerships, so please, hands out, come on in, and you're going to find the partners are here a lot. This is very, very important to us, and we have great pride in what we do. You will see an A product that I think you'll be happy with. We certainly intend to deliver that. I'm sure everyone's melting in the sun. There are cold drinks and refreshments and some takeaways. There's also going to be some photo opportunities with the shovels. I think we're going to move to that. Gosh, we're just so glad to be here, and we're really looking forward to being a part of this community. Thank you for having us.